Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, part 5 of our Fox. And if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, you can find all the information about where this image came from, a link to the photographer's Instagram page. And if you want to paint him, just pop over there and shoot them an email, not an email, an instant message, and just ask them if it's okay. You know, let them know you saw it here on my channel, and just make sure that you have permission to paint it. I'm sure you'll be granted permission, but it's always kind of a polite thing to do. So let me tell you about, I was watching YouTube videos again this morning. And one of my favorite channels for painting is Lacree Fine Art with Lisa Lacree. And she posted a video yesterday that I am hoping is going to be a game changer for me. So I'm going to use this technique when I do this tail. And if you haven't seen it yet, I will try and put a link to that video in the description box down below. It basically is how to get the blending abilities like you have with oil paint with acrylic paint. And she used a fine mist sprayer for that. So I have purchased it. It's not here yet. But I happen to have this sprayer that has been in my drawer for years. I think it's a MAC sprayer. But anyway, it's a skin freshening sprayer, but it has a fine mist. And so I didn't realize I broke the lid. I thought, all right, well, let's see if we can unscrew it. And I unscrewed it and replaced the water and all that, and then I realized in the act of unscrewing it, I actually did, you know, it's not really meant to come apart, but it's going to work for me today until my fine mist sprayer that I got on Amazon comes in. So, of course, she makes it look super easy. She is very specific in her video, saying that it takes practice. I get that, but because this tail is so out of focus, I really want to try it. So I'm going to. And so you're just going to kind of be around for the the experiment, I guess. So I have a whole list that I made of things that I want to fix and change and so on and so forth on his on this painting so far. But before I get to any of that, I do think that I want to do the tail. And I honestly don't know what the best way to do this is, to be honest. I'm just gonna do it and try. Now the black, I'm going to need to do some fixing of what I did here. Again, more mistakes that I made in how I did my base coat, which I will not do again that way. But when looking at the piece, at the reference photo, this is black, you know. There's no doubt that that is dark and black in there. But this tail, these tail ridge, I don't know, whatever, this here at the top, it's not black. It's definitely, you know, gray. So, you know, you think, oh, well, you know, I was going to use black. Well, no, I don't think that that's the right thing to do. So, I'm going to have to kind of try and figure out how to get the color that I want there. And I think that I'm actually going to mix a little bit of Dioxazine Purple in that as well. So let me mix up those colors. And and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a color that I think that I will like. It was Mars Black, Neutral Gray 5, and some Dioxazine Purple. So I don't know. I've got a rag here to wipe off in case it is terrible. And when I look at the reference photo, to me, you've got the dark, I'll call it dark, the dark fluffy hair that comes up on the edge of the tail. And then the colors that are below it are actually on top of it. So I'm going to do the dark first and hope that it turns out okay. Okay, so in this technique, Lisa used the fine mist sprayer. That is very important, not a regular sprayer because the drops are too heavy. And she sprayed the canvas and she put her color on. I don't even know if this is this working? I might not need the sprayer to do this part, to be honest. Now that I'm looking at it, let's see. We want a little bit heavier, so it might take a couple coats. But actually, this might be okay, just as is without spraying. I don't want to, without blending. I don't want to blend the color in too far. I'm gonna not worry. I'm not gonna blend it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna just brush this down a little bit. Here I was all excited to try the technique, but well, let's just try it. So, and then it's gonna be hard to tell right now if it's gonna be good or not, I think. What was I gonna say? I have no idea. I don't know what I was going to say. Most of what I say is unimportant anyway. Okay, so maybe I will try it right here on this. Now that was a little too much. I was a little bit too close, so I'm going to dab that off. You got to be really careful to spray far away because you don't want water drops necessarily on the canvas. You just want, just a really fine mist of water. And I was going to use that to soften the edges here, but I think just the water in this case is working. I'm not going to use my brush. I want to get this edge needs to be a little bit less harsh. So just going to move my grays down in here. We'll let these dry and then we'll start adding the other colors on top. I just want to, okay, this actually kind of looks okay. I don't know that I need to change anything here. I think I'm going to let that dry. Right? Let's come a little bit further down. I don't want any weird straight lines, which is what I did. That was a mistake. Can always add more if we need to. All right, I'm gonna let that go. I'm making a really watery. You're gonna see me using this technique everywhere right now because really liked it. Yeah, that little spray of water seemed to really allow, me to add color and then blend it all out, and I really like it. All right, I want to try that for some areas that need a little bit of fluff. This really needs a little bit more fluff, but I don't know if, I don't know. This still has a lot to get worked. This, I'm pretty happy with the way this has turned out, I gotta say. You know what, I'll warm that up just a little bit. So these, this brush, oh yeah, okay. This brush is just a makeup brush. And yeah, that might not run good. Never mind. Okay. It's just a makeup brush, and for blending, it needs to be dry. So what I do is, you're only wanting to use the very tips of it anyway. So after you use it, you can mist the tips and then get your paint off on a rag, so that you keep your brush as dry as you possibly can. Yeah, because otherwise it doesn't work very well. It can't be wet, it has to be dry. Okay, is this dry yet? Let's come back and keep working on this. Okay, so I know for this I want to do clumps. I want to use my big, where is it? My big round brush. This one will work. I have another one though. Yeah, this one. I want to use my round brush. This one is a little bit older and messier of a brush than this one. I keep this one for when I want really nice crisp marks, but I think this one is what I want for this case. And I have to try and remember to work this in layers. It's not going to happen all at one time. So all right, so I'm going to start by putting some Parchment and, see, white is too bright. I do not want to use white yet. So Parchment and maybe Unbleached Titanium. Using white too early is a really bad habit that I have, that I really need to break myself of. So I'm just going to kind of use the Parchment and the Unbleached Titanium mixed together. I'm going to throw those down as quickly as I can. I'm going to kind of keep putting a little fine mist as I'm working to keep that paint from drying. And then I'm going to use my brush and I'm going to blend it all out, and we're going to see what it looks like and go from there. So I want to make sure that I have my colors mixed first though. So the red Oxide is too dark for what I want, so I'm going to lighten that up with a little bit of titanium white to get it a little darker. I mean, a little lighter. Get it a little lighter. Okay, so I have some mixed there to be able to grab. Okay, here goes. All right, so a mist of water. Then my clumps too much water, or is my brush just too wet? Just gonna do clumps. I don't think I need. Oh man, I hope this works. I'm afraid. Well, what's the worst that can happen? I wet it all down, I think, and because my canvas is really dry. So, but I'm paranoid, so I'm going to give it another little mist. Gotta work fast, and working fast, I make mistakes, so we'll just see. I'm not going to put any black in yet. I think I'll put that in the end. Don't add that much water. Don't. This is nuts. Okay, I think I better try. All right, so I'm gonna spray it again. Brush. Okay, well that blended out almost too much, didn't it? That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Layer 1 done. We're gonna keep. I'm gonna keep playing because I think we'll just work on that a little bit. I don't want to mess with it. Now I know that it's gonna work because I was freaking out a little bit. I'm gonna dry that with a hair dryer, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll try this again until we get it right. So okay, so I can already see some things that I want to change. I'm gonna want to add a little bit more black, things like that. So I think I'm gonna start by adding some Ivory Black. And again, I'm going to just give it a little mist. I think I don't need to use as much as I did before. So I'm just going to keep layering things. Now that did not blend. That was too much water. Yes, that did not blend out the way I wanted it to. I think that's going to be okay because I'm going to go over it, but that's interesting. It blended so well before. It might have just been that I had a lot more paint on the thing. It's very possible. Just adding a little bit. In here, which I don't really need to blend. Okay, so let's do a little bit of black in here, and I'm not going to blend it. I will let this be what dries, and then I will do my marks over the top of this. Because I'm just not sure what I need for this now. So this way, I might wind up completely covering things up. Again, that's the beauty of the acrylics, right? I can always come back. I think I want a little bit of this probably is a case when I actually could use some white. Just a titch. might be that I need to put this color on last, but we'll see. I will also say that the picture that I've been putting in the, you know, at the end, it's interesting because I've been having a really hard time getting an accurate photo of what the piece looks like. In person, it looks a lot less harsh than it does in the photo. I haven't been able to get a good photo. You can almost, it almost looks better, you know, well, it does. It looks better in the film that you're viewing. It's actually closer to what the piece actually looks like. Which is weird because a lot of the times the photo that I take at the end is actually a better representation than what the piece looks like. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. And since I'm here, while I wait for that to dry, which will not take long at all because that's all a very thin layer, I want to add some black streaks in here. We might as well do something while paint is drying, right? Okay. And anywhere else? Nope, I think that's it for that. I like the way this looks, but I do want to try. And see what happens if I add some gray. Sorry, my head's in the way. Oh, it gets really, really almost too soft and fluffy where you don't really see the actual lines, the actual hair. Might have to just let that be. As to the angle of the piece, I'm really sorry that it has to be at the angle that it is. It shortens the snout, but it's the only way that I can do it so that my head is not right in front of you in the view of the camera. It's really annoying, but that's the only way that I can do it. And I don't know how other YouTubers, other painters do it, where you can see more like straight on and not have their head in the camera. Okay, I'm gonna try and add a little bit of fluff. It's a slightly heavier black line than I would like, but I don't think I'm going to mess with it. I think we'll just do that and call it good. Maybe I'll use a tiny little bit. That was the Ivory Black. Maybe I'll try bit of regular black as well. Right at the very edge. Part of me almost wants to just push it. You know, that actually, excuse me, that actually works okay. I actually like the way that works, just kind of pushing the edge. So it's softer now. I like that. That worked out really well. Let's do that over here too, because that looks a little, what's the word? Not contrived. A little too deliberate of my lines. I'd rather have it just be fuzzy. That's good. Okay, this is dry. Okay. All right, I'm gonna slow down a little bit now because I was so freaked out about it not blending and not working that it kind of blended too much. So I'm just gonna slow down a bit and try and be a little bit more precise with my brush strokes and hope that works better. Okay, I'm going to give it a spray though. Okay. So trying to remember what brush I used when I did my polar bear, and I got some really nice I'm not putting enough paint on. I think that's part of the problem. Maybe I should blend as I go. That might be a good thing to do. So a little, oops, I'm not very good at aiming yet with this thing. Okay, so I think I pushed too hard on that, but yeah, maybe it's okay. Let's go into some darker colors down here. I know I have the other color paint on my brush. That's just fine. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. A little spritz. And a little brush. And I'm just going to keep working it until I'm happy. I'm not going to work here yet, though. Well, because I don't want to work on an area that's kind of not dry yet. So because paint does still pull. It does still pull when it's that's closer to what I want. So now I'm kind of like, should I blend that or not? Yeah, I should. Okay, so just a little. I think I was pushing too hard, so we give it a little bit lighter of a blend. And actually, it might be good to just not worry about other colors and do this in the same way that I have done the rest of the piece, where I'm glazing the color on top instead. That might actually work better. orange, you know, more orangey colors down here, but we can glaze those colors on. More paint. Not here, maybe. It's light. I do like this brush. I think I'm going to make some changes up here using this brush, because even though yeah, that's okay. Even though I didn't follow the reference photo in here, I did kind of my own thing. I actually like it better than this area where I tried to follow the reference photo. So I need to raise my canvas because I'm too close to the thingy. So give me a sec, let me raise my canvas up, and okay, that's a little bit better. I'm liking the idea of just using this color and then glazing over the top of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I want to blend that though. Oh my goodness, this is like, this is a game changer. I actually left Lisa a comment thanking her profusely for this information, this technique. Yeah, is that pretty? That's pretty good. I think we'll let that dry. Glaze some color on top, and then I will know what to do. And I'll know what to do next. Okay, what am I going to do here? I kind of feel like I'm going to put some more paint on there to try something different. Where's my other brush? This one? No. How do I lose brushes so fast? Oh, I've been using that brush. Okay. Never mind. I kind of want to do what I did here in a smaller scale up here. Because when I look at the photos that I take, you can see the harshness of my strokes. I don't like that. And really, whether you see those in the reference photo or not, for me and what I'm after, that's not what I like. That's not what I want. I want, in my paintings, I want more softness. When I do pastels and things like that, if I choose to do super detailed marks, that's one thing. But the whole goal of me learning how to paint was learning how to paint in a softer manner. I still want to go for the realism. I've always liked realism. That's just, it's even before I started doing art, the realism in the art that I did see and like was what I liked. But I want it to be, you know, not like hyper realistic or anything like that. So this all needs to get softer. So I'm going to try this technique on here and see what happens. So I think I'll use, it's a really hard decision between the Parchment and the titanium white. Again, when I look at the reference photo, I see Parchment more than titanium white. It's a cooler area here, but I might try titanium white instead because I keep using Parchment and I wasn't happy. All right, I'm going to give it a spritz. Pull back. Again, my aim is terrible. Okay, and then I'm going to do these. Turn my brush. A little bit more. I think I have some working time. And now I'm going to soften it out. I'm going to have to add some, I think I'm going to have to, what am I trying to say? I'm going to have to, again, not be so worried about reference photos and do what I want to do to get my painting the way I want it to be. But I can tell you that I like the way it covered up and softened those really harsh brush strokes. They're softer now. It's better. So I'll glaze some warm color over the top of it, and I think I will be really happy with this. Is this dry yet? No, that's not dry yet. Okay, so what was the other thing that I wanted to do? I wanted to bring some of this color further down in here. This is really dark, but I think that that's okay because dark can always be lightened up with subsequent layers on top. And actually, it's not too dark. It's actually really good. Okay, I like this so much better already. Yeah, a lot better. So I'm going to take some of this and glaze it over the top here. still kind of see things a little bit too much there. So, still some more work to do. Okay, there's another thing that I want to do. I want to put some more of the dark color. Hopefully, I like this one on the eye. I don't really want to cover up the highlight, but I want to darken the color of this one a little bit. That's okay. That's not bad. It's wet, so my paint is running. Okay, so while all this is continuing to dry, I need to darken this. This is too white. So, I think for this, I'm going to use, see, it's really hard to know whether to use the Ivory Black or the Lamp Black. The Ivory Black is very brown. I can kind of see where I used it here. And I'm not sure that that's what I want. So I'm kind of thinking that I might take that, that golden satin glazing liquid that I have and mix the Ivory Black with it so that I continue to have kind of a neutral brown. Again, I have my rag is at the ready in case I completely am wrong about this. I like how the glazing liquid allows me to get that transparency, but the paint is still, I don't really want to say thick, but I'm to get it as thin as I had wanted it here, I think I would have had to have used too much water. Better. That's much better. It was way too white. It's way too white. Okay, now over here. Do I want to do anything over here? I'm gonna take the same translucent black. might even do that here. What I'm trying to do is soften the transition between between the black and the other colors. And this feels like it's working well for that. Pretty happy with that, I think. Okay, is this dry? I think that's dry. Now I have to pick a glazing color. And you know what? I'm going to use this golden glazing liquid. This might turn out to be my new best friend. And I'm going to take some of this light color that I mixed up. This, oh, it was like the red, the red oxide and white. I don't know if this is going to be right or not. I should have been using that stuff for a lot longer. This stuff is great. And I'm sure it comes in all different brands. I'm happier already. It's not defined, I know that, and that's okay. I think that was what I was not liking about it before. I'm going to put a little bit more, once that dries, a little bit deeper colors in here. I kind of like that I'm just doing my own thing and not following the reference photo. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's put some of these redder tones in here with glaze. And it's so kind of transparent that I'm not really worrying about having to blend now, because it's just kind of automatically blending by itself, I think. Okay, I want to keep these down low because the top of his thing looks a lot more white. Not white, light. A lot lighter. Let's see if I can get this gone, because I don't want it to be up there. Okay, something about this that I'm not happy with, the end of the tail. I want to make sure that that looks the way I want it to, even if it's not like the photo. I want it to really fluff out on the end, and maybe instead of that white, I do go with the darker colors. do I don't know why I can't get that first spray to be right. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more to get this to show up here. I don't know why I feel like his tail should be, I mean, I know I have kind of more of a lump than the reference photo shows. That was my mistake in my painting, but I kind of feel like I want his tail to even be longer. And black on the end. All right, I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll blend some stuff over the top of that. Let's take a little bit of, let's try parchment instead of white. Is this dry? Yeah, that's dry. Aim. All right, let's do a few. It's not quite dry yet. Glazing. I love to glaze. Oh, I just love it. Sorry, I'm laughing at my own silly private jokes. I'll get this the way I want it eventually. I think it might need some more dark, and I might try to put some with a brush, just skinny, and try and put some little bit darker color in there. How am I feeling about this? Not bad. It's mostly dry. to put a few black tips, but now I'm not doing this right. I'm just kind of winging it here. It's not bad though. It's really not. So this is the color that I see in the reference photo, but I'm not loving it with the rest of what I have going on here, even though it's, I might have to live with that color for a little while and see if I can like it better. Maybe after there's a clear glaze over the top of everything, maybe I will like it better. It feels really flat to me compared to the richness of the rest of the piece. And I'm still debating on bringing that. Let's do that. I'm gonna bring this in a little bit. I'm going to take a second to spray my my brush, because you can see how it kind of has this fine layer of paint on it, and I don't want to let that go too far. Yeah, I might have let it go a little bit too far. It's okay. So I'm holding the bristles real tight. I spritzed it again with water. And now I'm rubbing with my cloth. And now it's all clean. And still very dry. Okay, I'm really happy with that. I'm good with that. So what are the other things that I wanted to work on for this piece? I wrote them all down in a little note. So I added the black under the chin. I fixed this part right here. I want to put more hairs on his ear. I want to work on this under chin a little bit. I wanted to do something up here, but I'm not sure if I will or not. And I darkened the eye. I am almost finished. I will know better after I do the whiskers. I'm happy with that color now. I just added that little bit of black to the tips, and I think that's okay. Okay, so in here, let me look at maybe adding some dark color. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of, what is this? That's not what I want. I think I want raw umber. Raw umber. There we go. All right, I'm going to try. Just putting in a few dark, like the shadowy bits. See if that helps. Hey, it's been working for the rest of the piece. Why not try it here too? Yeah, no, that didn't help. Okay. I don't want to get back into that spot where I feel like the lines are all too harsh. I don't want to go backwards for sure. So just got to keep working it till I'm happy. But I'm pretty happy. I can tell you. I just it's like, gosh darn it, why can't I get that the way I want it? I just don't know. You guys, seriously, has this ever happened to you guys? I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, okay, okay. Hey, hello. Do I like that? And then, oh gosh, I just don't know. You guys have got to be like so tired of me working that area. I'm tired of me working this area. think it wasn't dark enough before. That was one of the things that I was missing, is that dark in there. So I've got the dark in there now. So now I'm gonna let that dry and try one more time of putting color on top. And if this doesn't work, I'm at a loss for what to do at that point, truly. Okay, I want to add some more lines to the hair. So let's do that while that other thing is drying. Go really slowly. Actually, could have a few that are clumpy. That'd be okay. Okay, I'm going to lower this. Color is not coming off the brush the way I want it to, so I'm adding more water. Come on, why? Okay, that's a little frustrating. So starting over. I'm really starting over. Okay, let's try a different brush. I have this really long liner brush. I'm going to try that. I know that this is one of those things that everybody, I hear so many people talk about having a hard time with, is like whiskers and hairs. And I get it. It is a pain in the butt. All right, white not working. Switch to buff titanium, unbleached titanium. More water. Lots and lots of water, I think. Twisting my brush, you know, kind of making a swishy motion. That seems to help a little bit. Lots of water. Holy moly. What a pain. All right, that's probably enough. What do I want here? A little bit. Or not. glaze over it, so that's fine. That's fine. It's not quite dark. That's not quite dry yet. I'm happy with that. Let's see what I'm going to do about this bit. I don't know. Maybe we just try and do some whiskers. I know that brush looks like it would be way too big to do whiskers with. But look what happens to it when it gets wet. So this is all quite dry, so I'm going to give this a go for some whiskers. And I'm going to use Mars Black, I think. I can always wipe them off. That's one really great thing about acrylics. You can always wipe off if you're not happy. Okay. My brush is wet and has a decent amount of paint on it. I'm going to start with this one. The problem is trying to go this way is so not a comfortable thing. Going down is easy. Going this way is easy, but going this way is really hard. And I don't know if I can keep a light enough touch. Let's try, I'm going to try holding the brush way, way back. And see if that helps. And I don't think going fast is the answer because you don't have as much control on the pressure. So I've got my my elbow tucked into my body. That's a little thick. Holy moly, that dried really fast. Seriously. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. Make sure my brush is plenty wet and has plenty of paint on there. And let's come on. All right, I'm gonna leave that one because I don't want. Oh man, it's pretty thick in the. It's pretty thick. Is that too thick? You know, up here. It feels too thick to me. It's going to take some practice. Let's try again. See, darn it. Okay, I'm gonna get this because this brush is a good brush. I think it's just a matter of practice. Oh my gosh. Come on. The problem is I can't keep a consistent pressure. Water, a little more paint. actually thinking that that's not bad. I'm going to leave that. Light, really, really light. These are just, I don't like that. Really fine. I don't know why. I see it in the reference photo. I don't like it in the painting. I don't like these. Let's try again with something. Like that. Maybe. Brush is a little wet there. Okay, I am not I'm not unhappy with these. I think I'm gonna do another one from here. Let it be short, that's okay. Over here are just I'm going to leave that. I think I'm okay with that like that. Just adding a tiny little bit of let's see, that's better. I mean, look how teeny tiny of the detail I can get with this brush. Like, oh my God, the tiniest little. As you can see how pointy it is. And it holds a lot of water and a lot of paint, so. Oh, no, there's more whiskers up here. Okay, I'm not going to do those yet. I want to get this done first without completely mucking up the rest of the painting, because I am actually really happy with it. What am I going to do here? I have to pick a different color. I keep using Parchment and I keep using Buff Titanium, and I'm not happy with either one. I don't know what color to use though. Titanium white with a little unbleached titanium, so it's actually, let's try spritz. Get this little thingy. Let's do these and then blend it. like it better. I'm not, I don't, yeah. I like it better. I like this color. This light, this white. Okay, guys. This might be it. We might actually be at the end of this painting. Better. Painting. These Salacri, I love you. A little bit too much. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so close to being done on this. I'm not going to do anything else to that. The only thing I'm still a little bit unsure of is this, because even though when I squint, the colors are the same as they are in the reference photo, for my painting, I am not in love with it. So I'm going to make a little bit of creative change. Give myself a little creative license here. That yellow might not be right. I might want a little bit brighter, so I'll try both. Make sure that's really dry. Yes, it is. Let's lift this up with the blocks again. Okay. God, I hope I'm in camera through this whole thing. Okay. I'm going to start with the raw sienna and see if that's. I think that's going to be just fine. I think the raw sienna is just what I want. Oh my goodness. You know how it's like this painting has been, has had such highs and such lows. It's just ridiculous. Because when things go well and I'm happy, it's such a good feeling, and when things are not going the way you want them to, oh, it's so frustrating. I'm so close to calling this done. Now, I will say that it's very possible that after I sign off and I say, okay, it's done, that I'm going to look at it for a little bit longer and say, you know, and make some changes. That does happen. Oh, that's much better. So the thing up here that I was thinking of changing, I'm afraid to mess it up. My black is much thicker than the reference photo is. But honestly, I really don't want to mess it up. I've gotten to a point where I'm actually really happy with this, and I don't know that I want to change it. So I think I'm done. There's one spot right here that shouldn't be that light, so I'm going to glaze a little bit of something over the top of that. That's better. Guys, I'm going to call this one done, and I'm going to, just so you can maybe, hopefully see it, I don't know, hopefully see it at a better angle. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, and you won't be able to see a thing. Who knows? Because I can't see what's going on my camera. I think I'm finished. I will sign it off camera because you don't need to see how difficult I find signing in paint is. But for the time being, I'm going to call this done unless I see something really soon that I just cannot stand. But other than that, I think it's good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, you know, all of your support. And thank you, Lisa, for your, I don't think I could have done this without you. So thank you. And that's it. I'm going to call that one a wrap. And until I see you guys on the next one, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye. Love to all of you.